So, a little over 2 weeks ago, Apple released the first update to iOS 26, which was iOS 26.0.1. Now, this software update did address several bugs, including Wi Fi and Bluetooth connection issues, cell connection issues, and other bugs and security improvements for the iPhone. However, most recently, we've gotten some information that Apple could potentially re release the software update, and I wanted to address this information in today's video with you guys, as well as talk about the next update, which is iOS 26.0.2. Which has now been confirmed that Apple is working on this software update. We'll talk about the expected release date and what are some of the bugs and issues that Apple could be addressing for you with this next release. And last but not least, I want to talk about what's Apple's next major update for iOS 26, which is iOS 26.1, currently sitting in beta 3. We'll talk about the expected release date and so much more. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is iOS 26.0.1 and the potential software re-release. Now I want to talk about a private X account over on X, which has basically a perfect track record on providing us with details of Apple's upcoming iOS software update. This account did mention that another 26.0.1 software release was in the works. Now you see there, he never mentioned iOS. He says another 26.0.1 update with a new build number of 23A357. Now, initially when I saw this information, I thought to myself, well, Apple recently released new Apple products with the M5 processor, which is the iPad Pro, the MacBook Pro, and the Apple Vision Pro. So earlier this week, this tweet went out, and I thought maybe that software update is only for those devices, and that is exactly what happened. So iOS 26.0.1 will not be available as a re-release. However, 26.0.1 is available for iPadOS, macOS, and Vision OS only for the M5 devices because those devices were shipping with iOS 26, so Apple wants to bring them up to date with all the bug fixes and security patches provided by 26.0.1. So don't expect a re-release for iOS 26.0.1. The next update will most likely be iOS 26.0.2. So let's talk about what Apple could be addressing with this one. Now, by far the number one complaint with iOS 26 and 26.0.1, I would say, is battery life and performance issues, especially on older devices. Now, we don't know exactly what Apple will be addressing with 26.0.2. However, we know that Apple is working on this software update, as MacRumors already found devices visiting their website on their analytics log. So once we see this type of information, we can expect the software to be released in just a couple of days, perhaps a week or two at the latest. So right now it is October the 17th, which is Friday. I wouldn't be surprised to see this software release after 1 p.m. Eastern time today. We've seen Apple release software updates on a Friday before. We'll have to wait and see, but iOS 26.0.2 could release any moment now. Now, my best guess is that Apple will release this next software update on the week of the 19th of October here. So next week, I would expect this software update again, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 26.0.2 being released as early as today, Friday the 17th, if you're watching today on Friday the 17th. So just keep in mind that Apple is currently working on another software update to address more bugs and more issues on iPhone as they prepare for their next major release, which is 26.0.1. Now, iOS 26.1 will not be another minor update with bug fixes and security patches. 26.1 will be Apple's first major update coming to the iPhone. Now, I've been testing the software on my iPhone 17 Pro Max, my personal device. This software update will bring improvements to battery life, which a lot of users are looking forward to, updates to animation, faster animations, updates to liquid glass, and some much needed new features and changes coming to the iPhone. If you want to watch my entire coverage of iOS 26.1 betas, links will be down below. Now, this software update is currently on a weekly release schedule, so the fourth beta will most likely become available sometime next week on the week of the 19th as well. So we can expect developer beta 4 and public beta 4 for iOS 26.1 here shortly in just a couple of days. Again, this software update is the first major update. Improvements to battery life, updates to liquid glass, faster animations, and new features. Unlike iOS 26.0.2, which is expected fairly soon, will bring bug fixes and security patches for the iPhone sometime next week as well, hopefully. And that about brings it into this video. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to keep you guys updated. I know there's a lot of releases back to back here, but there you guys have it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.